we have water in the pool for a week, you no longer need to brush twice a day.
Okay.
You're just going to brush once a week for the rest of the life of the pool.
That's the bottom.
Except for the bottom. So yeah, you're going to brush those stairs, the steps, the walls. But the whole floor you don't have to worry about anymore.
Okay.
This new Polaris I just put in has a nice SOS pad on its tail. I'll be moving back and forth and scrubbing the floor for you so you don't have to.
Okay, so sides and steps.
Yep, after a couple months, the little SOS pad on the end of the tail will start to fade away. You can just buy a new one at Home Depot, Sam's Club, Costco, something like that. Or even online at Amazon. They're about $5 to get a new one. After that, over in your Cabo shelf, you do have an umbrella stand. You have the perfect umbrella in there now. It is your pool. You can do what you want. We recommend not using wood, though. Wood and water expands. If it does get stuck, it's a lot of money to have fixed. So just powder-coated aluminum, stainless steel, or plastic is the best way to go. And then lastly, just note how tall it is. So don't accidentally hit yourself in the head. It's going to kind of be hard for you, I think. You might have to duck no matter what. But yeah, and that's the last thing. And then if you do find a wooden one, you absolutely have to have in the pool. I just recommend putting a PVC pipe down inside first, and then putting the pole down inside it. That way, if it does expand, it's only going to get as big as the piece of plastic, and you can pull the whole thing out in one solid.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be using wood.
No worries. After that, once a week, you're going to want to pull this Polaris out to check the bag. Okay. You're going to do that just by grabbing the hose and pulling it to the surface. And then as we make our way down to it, you're going to notice this little egg shape here. This here is a backup valve. So every 3 to 5 minutes, water's going to divert out this nozzle. It's going to lift your Polaris to the top of the pool and then float it around a little bit before dropping it someplace new. So that's going to prevent it from getting stuck in a corner or on a step all day and not doing its job. And then once you get it to the surface, you can let it drain out over the water like so, or you can set it up on the deck and get a little bit wet. After that, you've got 2 buttons on either side. Push those in and it'll pop right out, and then disconnect the big clamp back here. These bags here have a nice zipper on them. We're going to unzip it, dump it out, and then you're good to go from there.
Oh, that's where all the stuff goes.
That's
correct, yeah.
You said that's once a week?
Yep, just once a week.
Okay.
During the fall, might have to happen a couple more times if there's too many leaves in the pool. But yeah, you should for the most part just do once a week. When you're ready to put it back in, you're going to make sure the big clamp's coming back towards the hose like so. And then you'll hear these kind of lock in place. There's a little bit of a click. And you'll put it back in the water. You want to leave it in the pool anytime you're not swimming. But when you do decide to go swimming, it's just a quarter turn twist lock. So right here at the wall, you're going to grab it, spin it counterclockwise, and it will pop right out.
Oh, so it's powered from that nozzle.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
And then
as
once
soon as you hook it on, it just automatically goes?
Yeah, so I have it set up on a schedule. So 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this is going to be moving around. Anytime after that, you can pull it out of the wall knowing it's already back in the floor.
Oh, okay. So just every morning?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So once you get it out of the wall, you're going to pull it out, put it somewhere in the shade, and then do note the more times you take it out, the more chances it has to be damaged by pets, kids, and sun. If it's just you guys and your kids swimming around, you have faith they're not going to break this, you're more than welcome to leave it in the pool. We do recommend taking it out anytime you get big groups of people or anybody getting drunk getting into the pool, because if someone falls on it and breaks it, it's about $600 or $700 to have replaced, and we're trying to save you guys money. So kids are going to be doing quite a bit of chores if they jump in and break on it on you guys.
So we'll be taking it out.
When you do get ready to put it back in, it's got a couple directions to go in. So basically, there's 2 little notches on the inside that are going to go over these, and then you just spin it so it locks in place. So you're going to push it into the wall slot,
and twist it,
and then spin it clockwise. And the counterclockwise and clockwise that I tell you are for when you're inside the pool, not above it.
Okay.
So that way, most of the time you take it out, you'll probably be down inside the pool. It'll be a lot easier than bending over. After that, we'll make our way over here to our skimmer basket. So this here is your skimmer basket. It's going to try and collect all the debris off the top of the pool so that your vacuum isn't working as hard.
Get out of there.
I
Come
see
on.
you. Thank you.
Jeez.
Once a week, though, you're going to open the lid, pull the basket out. It needs to be emptied. Give it a little tap and then dump it out from there. You guys have somewhere I can dump the sack? Okay. I like to ask before I just do it. That there's pretty much clean. You are more than welcome to wash it out though. But when you go to put it back in, you're going to drop it down inside. It should sink all the way to the bottom. But if you do have any problems with it floating up, you can put a heavy rock or something down inside it. And it will keep it suctioned to the bottom without affecting the flow. And then replace the lid. And then last but not least, we get here to your autofill. So right now your water level is a little bit high, so it is grounding at the moment. But this here is going to prevent you from having to put water back in the pool. So basically it works just like a toilet float would. So as the water in the pool lowers, water here in this canister is going to equalize. And then this is going to start filling your pool up automatically for you.
Oh, really?
Once it catches up, it goes completely silent.
So we'll never have to put a hose in the pool?
Yep, shouldn't have to unless you drain your pool all the way down for some reason. It'll just make it easier at that point. But with all that being said, we do only set it by eye and ear on the first day.
Okay.
So say for whatever reason it doesn't maintain it at the halfway point of your tile line and it starts to drop below that, you can raise this by spinning this outer ring counterclockwise. And then that's going to bring the water level up for you.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
You said our water's too high right now?
It is a little bit high. That's why you can kind of see the water coming over the top of it here. I'm going to raise this to the max level, and then it should maintain that water level. If it starts to drop below the halfway point, though, let us know, and we'll bring out a little extender for you and make it just a little bit taller, too. So right there, it's at the max.
Okay.
So basically now as the water drops, this should automatically start to fill it back up for you.
Okay.
And it just drops from evaporation.
Evaporation, splash out, anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Having your deck jets on, that will cause quite a bit of evaporation as well because the water is going through the air. It's a lot easier for it to evaporate.
Right.
But it won't be noticeable with your autofill here.
Okay.
Okay.
With all that being said, though, say I do set it too high today and you need to bring the water level back down, you can spin it clockwise to lower it. Just do note, lowering it isn't going to take water out of the pool. It'll just let it splash out or evaporation. Yep. And then it will maintain that water level from that point on. Only maintenance we do ask on that, say that it's putting water out when it's not supposed to be, or it stops putting water out altogether. You're just going to walk over to that black valve right there on top of the hose spigot, shut that guy off, give us a call, and we'll come out and fix it from there again.
Great.
Any questions about the pool so far?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay, no worries. So we'll go ahead and come over this direction then. So the first thing we're going to go over is inside this gray panel here. So over here on the far left side, we have auto, service, and timeout.
Okay.
When it's in auto, you can only control it through your cell phone and through this antenna here.
Okay.
Nothing you push here will turn anything on or off. With that being said, if you push the far left button once, it's going to drop from auto to service. Anything that's turned on will instantly shut off. And then it's also going to tell your phone it's in service mode. No operations are allowed.
Okay.
That way you could be out here working on the pump or the filter, not have to worry about someone grabbing your phone and turning the pool on you and spraying you with water.
Okay.
This also becomes manual mode. So say your internet goes out, your antenna just stops working, cell phone dies, or you just don't want to go back inside for your phone. You can come out here, put it in the service mode, turn your pool pump on, your lights or anything you want through right here, and it's going to stay on until you shut it off.
Okay.
So which one is lights and which one is
So
jets?
lights will be number 1 and deck jets will be number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if they gave you a box of manuals, there should also be some labels inside there too.
Okay.
And you can get those labels put on right here to be able to change
Okay.
it.
Yep.
But for the most part, you'll be using your phone for all the on and off.
Okay.
And the last one here is timeout. We call that pool guy dummy mode. Basically, the pool guy shows up and needs to add chemicals, but he can't stand around waiting for water to churn. So he's going to put it in timeout for you. Anything he turns on will stay on for 3 hours, and then it will reset back to auto for you, so you can control it through your phone again.
Okay.
It'll also tell you how many hours remain. So if you don't want to wait for it yourself, you can come out and hit the button again, and it will swap from timeout back up to auto for you. So with it in service or timeout, though, we'll go ahead and come over here and look at our pool pump now. So over here on your guys' left, we've got the skimmer. On your right, we've got the main drain. And we actually close off about half the main drain. That way more water gets pulled across the top of the pool. That way any leaves or bugs that fall in should wind up in that skimmer basket instead of falling to the bottom.
Okay.
And it will hopefully help keep the bottom of the pool cleaner overall. After that, though, water will come into our pump basket. Once a week, we'll want to look in through the lid to see if it needs to be emptied. And if it does, you're just going to grab it right here and then just give it a little love tap. Lift the lid off, pull the basket out, give it a little tap, and then dump it out.
Look at all that happening.
I know.
So for the first month or so, you're going to get little pieces of PVC shavings, any rocks, anything that was left over in the pipe before they got it sealed.
Okay.
And then after that, it'll just be the normal leaves and sticks and bugs.
Okay.
When you get ready to put it back in, big hole here is coming back towards our pool suction side. And there's a little notch in the back side that's going to prevent it from rotating. So we'll set it down inside here. Make sure it doesn't rotate once it gets set down in. If there's any debris on the lid, we'll just wipe it off. Then you're gonna grab the lid. All of our lids have start and start on them.
Okay.
You're just gonna line those up with the ports like so, and spin it until the lock lines up as best you can. After that, we get here to your overflow. So you do have a minor overflow in your pool. It's gonna be that little eyeball fitting right at the top of your tile line.
Okay.
And that's gonna keep up with most of the rain that we've been getting over the last few months. If it's anything like 2017 though, where we're getting 6 to 8 inches a day, gonna wanna hook a hose up to this, run it out to the street or one of the drains in your backyard.
Okay.
Turn the pool pump on, open this here spigot up, and you'll start to slowly drain the pool.
Okay.
Most important thing though, do set a timer on your phone or your microwave so you know exactly how much water you take out. Don't accidentally drain the entire pool, then have to pay to put all that water back in. It's very easy to do. I've been to 2 people's houses in the last year that have done it already. After that though, we do get to your temperature sensor. So every time you turn your pool pump on with your cell phone, you're going to get an exact water temperature reading as it passes through the pump and before it gets through to the filter. And then hanging on the bottom of the panel is also an air temperature sensor. So you'll be able to see exactly how hot it is outside, and you can figure out if you even want to come outside in the first place.
Okay.
After all that though, we'll come in here into your filters. Everything I'm about to go over is right here in brown and white letters. And then as well, Jandy, Zodiac, and Polaris. They made all of your pool equipment. They're all the same pool company. They also make perfectly edited YouTube videos, 3 to 5 minutes long, discusses everything that we go over today as well. So these here you want to wash 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay.
Once at the beginning of your pool season, somewhere in the springtime. Once at the end of your pool season, somewhere in the fall. And then if you have a lot of people with sunscreen or suntan lotions jumping in the pool, you're going to want to wash the oils off somewhere in the middle as well.
Okay.
So to do that, first thing you'll do is you put your panel in the service. That way everything shuts off for you. And then back here on the back side, there's a drain cap down here at the bottom. I'm just going to remove that, and it is just hand tight. Once you get that cap off, it's going to start to drain water out of this tank here, about 10 or 15 gallons. And then as it's draining out, we're actually going to open this up. This is going to allow it to suck air in so that the water can come out the bottom faster. Will make your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then once it's all done, you have no more water coming out the bottom. On the back side again, we have a 9/16 ratchet, wrench, or a drill with the socket nut here. You're just going to take this nut off, remove the band here, and then you can lift the lid.
Okay.
Once you get past the lid, it's just a black manifold that holds the 4 cartridge filters upright. Have you guys ever seen the cartridge filters before?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, they look like tall, skinny shop vac filters.
Oh yeah.
So they're about 2.5, 3 feet tall, just made out of paper. You're gonna pull them out, set them on the deck, and then wash them from the top down with a bullet nozzle or a regular hose nozzle. No pressure washer.
Okay.
Once you do have it clean, you'll know because there's clear water coming out the bottom. You're gonna go ahead and put those 4 cartridges back in. They are universal, can go in any direction and in any position. The manifold on top to hold them all in place. This lid, this band, and this cap down here. But we're gonna leave this open. So anytime you introduce air to the system, you're gonna wanna bleed that air out. So you turn your filter pump on, you let the pump fill up, and then you leave this open until you get a nice steady stream of water coming out the left side over here.
Okay.
Once you do get that steady stream, you know this tank here is full. Any other air down there will work its way out eventually over time as well.
So when we turn the pump on and all kinds of air starts coming out into the pool,
Yes.
that's normal.
No.
Okay.
So that was because they did not glue this right here.
Got it.
So I
That's
have
why-
no
that's-
idea how it didn't explode, honestly, and shoot water all over the place.
That's why it was leaking.
Yes.
That's why I was leaking.
So I
Yes.
came back. I just glued it. It's
Okay.
all glued back
So
together.
That's right.
I
There
have
was
not.
air everywhere. There
Yeah.
was just air. It was
Now
rough-
it should become an
anytime.
a completely airtight seal. You shouldn't have any problems with air going into the system unless solar turns on. When
Okay.
solar turns on, you will get those big air bubbles coming
Right.
through again, but that'll only be for about the first 30 seconds to a minute that
Right.
the air's on, and
When
then
we
it will
turned
slow
that
down.
solar heater on, it bubbled for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all that there.
That
Okay.
was just it was okay.
Yeah, like I said, I called my supervisor and I'm like, hey, it's not really that big a deal because I caught it and I got it glued together. I'm like, but the salt cell almost blew off on me. So,
no, okay.
yeah, I don't know how they missed that part, but I did get it glued back together. You shouldn't have any
Okay.
problems with it getting filled
So,
with air.
so we should not see any leaks unless we're working on the system.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was leaking like
It was,
like
it was
a
leak-
couple drips.
It was leaking from right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at first I thought it was the union, but as soon as I touched the union, I could see a gap here
Oh, okay.
between the pipe, which I couldn't see. So that usually meant that there wasn't glue on there, and I was right. I just undid the union. I was able to pull it straight off. So it's not even like they just did a weak run. They
okay.
completely forgot about it. And then also the solar was turned on just permanently before. Now you'll be able to turn it on and off
Thank
through your
you.
phone, so you won't have to worry
Okay.
about
Okay, great.
playing with the
Turn it on.
toggle switch over here.
Okay, great.
So right now the switch is on.
It is on,
Okay.
but you won't touch it here.
I won't touch it here.
Nope.
So is it
Okay.
on?
I don't know
It
why
should be
it's
on-
buttons.
Well,
It's-
because
It's
Go ahead.
so that we can install it any direction and still be able to set it in the right position.
Okay.
So basically, you have on one, off, and on two. On one's the position that you're going to be in from March 1st until November 1st.
okay.
From
Right.
November 1st to March 1st, however, you're going to move it to the center in the off position.
Okay.
If you forget which position you need to go into, it's very simple to figure out. If you move this valve and that starts to spin, you put it in the wrong position.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that when you turn it on to on, that it doesn't spin.
Alright.
So it's always on one. And that's only if your solar is turned off too. So
Okay.
from November 1st to March 1st, it'll be turned off on your phone as well.
Okay.
If you turn it on and then you flip this switch, it'll spin in on one. If you
Okay.
turn it to on two and it's on, it won't move at all.
Okay.
And then also, just coming right back to your filters real quick before I forget, your filters themselves should last you anywhere from 5 to 10 years, so long as you take care of them the way we recommend. If you neglect them for even a season or two, they will start to deteriorate pretty quickly, and then you start to lose them. They're about 80 or 90 bucks a piece to have replaced. Which you can
Those
go
little
replace them.
the paper filters
Yep,
that are
and
in
there's
there.
4
Wow.
of them in there.
So you said
So-
3 times a year, once in the beginning, once in the end, and
Yeah,
once
and
in the
more
middle.
every 4 months about works great.
Okay.
And then so this year you do have these valves over here as well. So they tell you to shut these valves off for solar as well to kind of help winterize it. And that's just in case this valve does spin when it's not supposed to. It's not going to send that water up to the roof and then run the risk of freezing it and damaging something
okay.
up there. Those ones there aren't as necessary so long as you do recommend or you do remember to put that into the off position because
Okay.
that valve won't spin no matter what anyways.
Okay.
After that, though, we get over here to your salt still. So what this is going to be doing is it's going to be pulling water through here. Any salt in the pool is going to be pulled across some negatively charged ions, and then it's going to convert that salt into chlorine for you. And that's how it's going to chlorinate the pool. So it does use a lot less chlorine in the pool, and you don't have to put those chemicals straight in. But every year you are going to have to put at least salt in the pool itself. If they haven't done it yet, they will be bringing it out. Usually on their last trip out, they add salt in. If they don't do it, though, just let us know. We'll come back out. You'll also hear a beeping over here at the panel every time the system comes on. That lets you know that it's low on salt at the time.
Okay.
So it's going to do it. Once he adds it in and it gets all balanced, though, it'll stop beeping over here as well.
So is there a salt level monitor in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you that in just a second,
Okay.
too. Coming over this way, though, we get to this valve. This is going to dictate whether water goes to your deck jets or the rest of your pool return. So anytime you decide you want your deck jets on, you'll turn it on with your cell phone, or you can push the number 2 button over here. This valve here will spin automatically and send the water down to these pipes to get the deck jets working. The only thing about turning it on in service mode, I have a specific speed, that one that you saw where it kind of just shot into the middle of the pool, set up for your cell phone. That doesn't work in service though. It only goes at whatever speed the pump's currently at,
Got it.
which is priming speed. It's about 1100 RPMs higher than what I normally run them at.
Okay.
The only reason I tell you that, if you come over and push your deck jet buttons, forgetting that it runs at a higher speed, it's going to shoot over your pool and
Okay.
onto the deck on the other side.
Got it.
So if you're trying to spray your kids, I mean,
Right.
more than welcome to. Other than that, though, I would just kind of keep it below the higher speed.
Okay.
Coming back this direction, we do have your cleaner line, so that's going to lead to the Polaris in the bottom of the pool.
Okay.
And it does have most of the water going down that pipe so that the Polaris can move around and vacuum the floor for you. Any water not going through the Polaris, though, will come through here, through your chlorinator, and then out through the rest of your pool. So this chlorinator here, you're only going to use in the winter time. And basically, you're just going to put little tablets inside because in order for salt to be converted into chlorine, it has to be at least 70 degrees or higher outside.
Oh, okay.
So on colder days, you won't be able to actually convert salt to chlorine. So you will use a little tab feeder. So basically, same thing, November 1st to March 1st, I would say just have a couple tablets in here to maintain it. Other than that, you should never really need to use it. And then truthfully, I would just keep it at a 5 all winter long. And then it'll automatically convert chlorine or salt to chlorine in the summertime. So if it doesn't need as much because this kept it up all winter, then
Yeah.
it just won't convert it. It'll wait until it drops below and then it'll convert it. If you're getting ready to open this though, do keep your face away, whether it's from either checking behind your pool service, adding new tablets, or even if you're just opening it up for the first time for the season. There might be some chlorine gas buildup in there. You don't want it to knock you out. So you're just gonna grab the lid and spin it off though. Once you get past the lid, you can look down inside. Maintenance on it's 3 to 5 tablets, and 5 tablets will sit about halfway up the tube, or this danger symbol on the outside here. Anything higher than that, you do run the risk of damaging this lid and the O-ring on top. Once you are ready to put the lid back on, you're going to go ahead and spin it until it stops, and you just get a little snug turn like that. That's all you need. That way, every time you take it off, you can do it one-handed. And then you don't run the risk of actually unscrewing it down bottom, because it is just threaded in down here. So if you tighten this lid too tight, when you go to unscrew it, it might undo it down bottom too, and then it will start to leak water. For the first year, you are covered under a warranty. We'll get back out here and fix it for you if it does start to leak. After that, it'll be up to you guys or your pool guy to fix it from there. Good news is, if you do have to replace this, it's only about $100, $150 to have replaced, and the most common thing is just that leaking from the bottom.
Okay.
Any questions about any of the plumbing then?
Are we supposed to have this on a 5 now?
No, so there's nothing in it, so
Nothing
we'll leave it at the
so
off
that would be in the
position.
winter. Just
Yeah.
okay. Got
Like I
it.
said, he
All
might
right.
have salt in there already. I don't think he does though, because it shows you a couple error codes in the front, and one of the
Okay.
error codes says low soda or low salt content. So usually on their last trip out, the end of the month, they bring out all the salts as well and dump it in the pool.
Got it.
So yeah, he probably won't put any tablets in there, or you might see 1 or 2 in there over the next couple weeks. But realistically, he should just be dumping chlorine in the pool and then getting it balanced from there, and then adding the salt in later.
Okay.
Any questions about the plumbing then?
Nope.
No.
Okay, no worries. So inside the panel, last thing I want to show you right here across the bottom, we have all of our breakers. So if you ever come out here and your pool pump's not working, the lights aren't working, anything like that, come in here and check our breakers. If they're tripped, they're going to be in the center like this. We're going to shut them to the off position, push them back to on, and everything should work from there. If it still doesn't work or it trips instantly, give us a call. We'll come back out here and fix it for you for free of charge. Over here you have a 20 amp GFCI outlet. You can plug anything you'd like into it, but do note it is also hooked in through your pool lights. So if you ever come out here and try to turn the pool lights on and they just don't seem to work, you'll just come out here, pop that open, hit the reset button like a standard kitchen bathroom GFI. If it still doesn't work, give us a call. We'll come out here and fix that from there. It's free of charge as well. Just do make sure to check both things before calling us for anything electrical out here, because they have started charging people $130 for us to come out and hit the reset button. And I am all about saving people money.
That's good.
So yeah, I mean, all you really have to do is check them. If they are tripped or they aren't, just at least tell us you checked them. We'll come out, we'll look. Even if it is just us flipping it off and turning it back on, we're not going to charge you for it. If you just go to work though and you call us, you're like, yeah, it didn't work, and you're like, oh no, I didn't check anything, then you might get charged, you might not. But I do want to warn you about that. Okay, any questions then